Number 6. Chest Sword. Brock Lesnar is a mysterious monster of a man who likes to keep himself to himself, but when Lesnar appeared in the UFC with a tattoo of a giant sword running down the centre of his torso, fans were taken aback, not so much by the design, but by the placement of it. However, the placement of the tattoo is quite deliberate. Explaining the meaning in his 2011 biography Death Clutch, Brock wrote, "I feel like life is holding a sword right up against my throat, so I went under the ink gun because I never wanted to forget how I felt at that time. The tattoo on my chest has so much meaning to me. In some ways it's funny because the period of my life that I'm talking about is a time I so want to forget, but I know I can just use this memory as motivation. I look at that sword almost like it's a family crest. It's my inspiration to fight back, because if there's one thing I know deep in my heart about myself, it's that I'm not a quitter, I am a warrior, and I will never let anything or anyone, whether it be the NFL or Vince McMahon, keep me down." Brock was speaking on how he felt during his legal battles with the WWE over his non-complete clause after leaving the company in 2004, feeling that Vince McMahon was holding a sword to his throat by preventing him from competing elsewhere. This meant that in 2005, Brock decided to get the tattoo placed onto his chest. Number 5. Left arm, Yajuta. Brock Lesnar's first ever tattoo from around 1998 was the Yajuta, the alien hunter from the Predator movie franchise, on his upper left arm. Whilst the obvious appeal for a young Brock Lesnar was a love of the character and movie, it is not hard to see why Brock was so drawn to the Yajuta, as Lesnar's love of hunting being well documented even as a young man growing up on his parents' farm. The Yajuta also tracks its prey through body heat because it is unable to see like humans, whilst Lesnar's colour blindness resulted in his premature dismissal from Army National Guard service during his younger days, so it is no great leap to see why the universe's ultimate predator would appeal to Brock. Number 4. Right arm, demonic skull. Unlike his chest piece, Brock has never publicly discussed the reasons for any of his other tattoos, but that hasn't stopped speculation about what they mean. Traditionally, skulls are representative of protection, strength, and overcoming obstacles, even overcoming death. Brock's skull is more demonic and is shattered with gun barrels in the eye sockets, leaving people to believe that Brock got this piece back in 2002 as a reminder of slaying his own personal demons. Number 3. Back, giant demonic skull. Much like the skull on Brock's arm, the personal motivation behind his back piece is all guesswork, as Brock has never publicly spoken about what it represents. With protection, strength, and overcoming obstacles to fit the theme of Brock's other artwork, once again this skull is damaged and it has a sword going through it. This piece was done back in 2001 and actually ended up costing Brock Lesnar over $500,000 in royalties. On the Grilling JR podcast, Jim Ross had this to say about the time Brock got his first back tattoo. "Well, I explained to him that it would have an impact on business, and that impact took money out of his pocket. Because if we had to slow down the production of a release, let's say an action figure, you know a guy can make 6 figures plus quite easily if his action figure is accurate, authentic, and out on a timely basis. So that was the issue here, is that we had an agreement with the action figure people and video game people on these guys' likeness, and to make sure that they look good, and that they look authentic and so forth. And then, all of a sudden, you've got this giant tattoo on this guy's back, and that is missing from all the other stuff. It looks like you're buying dead material from the get-go." Number 2. Upper back, severed hands holding meat hooks. Anyone who has read Brock Lesnar's biography will be aware that for all of his success, Brock has endured more than his fair share of hardships, from drug and alcohol abuse to a motorcycle accident and a potentially fatal cause of diverticulitis, a medical condition affecting the intestines, which derailed his UFC career. With these hardships, it is easy to conclude that the meat hooks represent being held down, whilst the severed hands represent that no one could hold him down, which fits in with the broken skull on his right arm as a symbol of defeating demons, as well as Brock's passion for hunting. Number 1. Lower back, kill 'em all. Due to the placement on the lower back, this tattoo is more often than not hidden under the waistband of Brock's shorts. but it is the easiest one to decipher. Kill 'Em All, whilst fitting perfectly with Brock's persona and his dislike for people, is also the title of heavy metal legends Metallica debut album in 1983. Brock is a fan of the band, even using their iconic track Enter Sandman as his entrance music at UFC 200 against Mark Hunt.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more wrestling content.